Hello.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Stephanie Coda, and I'd like to welcome you to the Modern Ecclesiae Dare program called Dare with a Twist. I don't know why. I'd like to introduce Patrolman Jason Rowell from the Pine Hill Police Department. He's a school resource officer and will be speaking here today. I'd like to thank you all for coming, and I'd also like to thank Patrolman Jason Rowell. And lastly, I'd like to thank the Pine Hill Chief of Police for helping us get Officer Jason Rowell here today. Now, let's get to the main reason we're here today. Drugs. Drugs have been a part of society since the middle of the last century, popularized by media and musicians. The most commonly used drug is alcohol, and the most commonly used illegal drug is marijuana. It is also known by other names such as weed, blunt, grass, and pot. It is commonly smoked in a funny-looking cigarette known as a joint, and can also be smoked through a water pipe known as a bong. And is also brewed into tea and mixed with food. Possession of this drug is a felony in New Jersey, and its short-term effects are sleepiness, reddening of the eyes, and increased risk of a heart attack. Its long-term effects are psychotic symptoms and damage to the heart and lungs. There are also many other types of drugs. Another one, the marijuana, is ecstasy. This drug can be known by other names such as E, XTC, Atom, and other drug. It is taken orally as a pill, tablet, or capsule. It is a man-made drug, and short-term effects are as follows: impaired judgment, confusion, severe anxiety, and paranoia. Some of its long-term effects are permanent damage to the brain. Then there's cocaine. This drug is known as coke, crack, and Charlie. It is taken orally, snorted, injected, or inhaled. Its short-term effects are being intensely high, followed by intensely depressed, edginess, craving more drugs, anger, and convulsions. No idea what convulsion means. Its long-term effects are irritability, paranoia, and hallucinations. When a person is addicted to cocaine, they will usually do anything to get more, and will even commit murder or suicide. That was loud. There is also crystal meth and methamphetamine. It is also called speed, meth, ice, and glass. Meth is inhaled, smoked, injected, and made into a pill form. It resembles small fragments of glass or shiny bluish white rocks. Meth is highly powerful and addictive, and a person is usually addicted after only one dose. It's very difficult to treat a meth addict. Its short-term effects are as follows: hyperactivity, nausea, delusions of power, hallucinations, and convulsions. Long-term effects are brain damage, stroke, or even death. Next is heroin. This drug is known as horse, smack, H, and skag. Heroin can be injected, snorted, or smoked. It's highly addictive, and injections can increase risk for AIDS, hepatitis, and other diseases, and needles are often shared. Heroin is also one of the drugs involved in drug abuse-related deaths. Heroin's short-term effects are nausea, vomiting, breathing is slowed severely. Its long-term effects are collapsed veins, soft tissue damage, and liver and kidney disease. Now, it's time for the queen, mother, daddy of all illegal drugs, LSD. This drug can also be called acid, Sid, bladder, California sunshine. LSD can be converted into tablets, with capsules, or made into a liquid form. It is commonly added to absorbent paper and divided up into small decorated squares. Each of these squares is a dose. LSD is one of the most potent, mood-changing drugs, and its effects are unpredictable. LSD's effects can linger up to 12 hours. The short-term effects are dilated pupils, a higher than normal body temperature, sweating, and increased heart rate and trembling. LSD's long term effects use is a bigger, more serious problem than illegal drugs because they are easily accessible and highly addictive. Oxycontin is one of the most highly addictive prescription drugs and is only taken under a doctor's supervision. Painkillers, depressants, and antidepressants are responsible for more overdose deaths in the U.S. than heroin, cocaine, methamphetamines, and amphetamines combined because they are easily accessible to teenagers who take them from their parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends, who then can take them to what is as a farm party, as in PH, pharmacy parties. Farm parties are where teenagers bring stolen prescription drugs from home and other places to mix them together. This is very deadly and is a hidden epidemic. Trail mix is a mixture of various prescription drugs and is usually served in a big bag or bowl at farm parties. Now for the laws concerning drugs in New Jersey. If you're caught with a drug paraphernalia such as bongs, joints, papers, etc., you can go to prison for up to 5 years or a $15,000 fine. If you, in fact, are caught with any illegal drugs, you can end up in prison for up to 20 years and receive a fine for up to $200,000. If you deal any type of illegal drugs, you can end up in prison for 20 years and receive a fine for up to $300,000. Officer Jason Bella, you can now take the mic.
Thank you very much. Good job, great job, Philip. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, they're fine.
All right, hello. Once again, my name is Officer Jason Rowell. I'm from the Pine Hill Police Department. I'm the school resource officer in the borough of Pine Hill. I'm also the juvenile detective in Pine Hill. I work with juveniles daily on a day-to-day basis, and I teach DARE day-to-day, mostly on Fridays over at the Bean School or at the Glen School in our town. We brought myself here today from the Pine Hill Police Department because we want to talk about some drugs. Does anybody know what a drug is? How about some of the young people answer? You guys know what a drug is? Define a drug for me. Just go ahead. What do you think your definition is? Would alcohol be a drug? Yes? Well, that's a good answer. Do you know why that's a good answer? Because it alters your body. So anything that alters your body in a negative way could be a drug, right? So when we drink water, is that a drug? No, because it doesn't alter your body in a negative way. We're drinking alcohol. Is that altering our body in a negative way? It's making us do things that we don't want to. Remember those side effects that she was talking about? Who wants to be dizzy? Does that sound fun? A lot of people enjoy that. Not only with alcohol, but for the marijuana use, like she was talking about. People smoke marijuana and then they go and throw up later on. Who wants to throw up? I know I hate throwing up, right? It's not fun at all. Has anybody ever been sick before and thrown up? Who would like to go and just hang out with their friends and throw up? It sounds like a blast, right? It doesn't sound fun at all. But, and there's different ways of saying no and saying that you don't want to. Can you guys, if I were to offer you a drug right now, what would you say to me?
No thanks.
No thanks? Okay, all right. Give me more of an aggressive way.
No.
No, I like it. Nice and loud and strong, comes from within, right? And you're saying, no, I do not want that drug. So if I were to come up to you outside after school and say, hey man, you want to go get high with me? His answer would be, no thanks. What's that sound like? That sounds like kind of like a passive way. No thanks, I'm going to do something else, right? And then your way, that's an aggressive way. No, I don't want the drug. Stay away from it, right? I like those ways. Those are each ways that we can do this, especially with alcohol, drugs. Peer pressure is something that always brings us, especially with schools. All right, we have a lot of peer pressure in our schools, and something that you guys might experience later on in life. When you go out and about into the world, a lot of people are going to get you or want to get you to do things that you might not necessarily want to do. For example, if you were ever at a store and there was a piece of candy up on the counter, the clerk at the store just ducked down underneath the register to go pick up something that she just dropped. Your friend says, hey, grab that piece of candy, let's go outside, let's not pay for it, let's go, let's run. Is that a good idea? No. What would you say to that friend? No, again, right? Deep within it. No thanks, right? Go ahead, you leave. I'm going to stay and pay for the candy. Have a good day. Right? Is that somebody who's a real friend to you? Well, these people are going to try to do the exact same thing with drugs. That's definitely not a real friend, I don't think. So make good choices later on in life with friends. Did everybody get a handout that she made? There's a lot of good information in that handout. There's a lot of names in that handout as you go down the list. That was really good. I don't even know where you found that. I try and look for stuff like that.
We just found it online.
It's a great resource because all those names are being used out and about. And then there's some drug information about laws that are in there. Does anybody know what the distribution of drugs are? It's when they're selling drugs, right? So who looks like a drug dealer? Can you define a drug dealer for me?
Maybe like a guy wearing like all black, drives up in a van, suitcase full of like little packets of white powder and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that might be a drug dealer that we're thinking of, right?
Yeah.
How about a lady dressed in maybe a jogging outfit who's driving down the street in her car, just riding along with her hood up. She looks like a normal soccer mom, as they would call it. You think that would be a drug dealer? Could be. Just about 2 months ago, I stopped the lady because she was speeding down one of our roadways. And she looked just like that. And she was in a little soccer mom car. I came up to the window and I started talking to her. Well, it wound up that as the car stop progressed, she had 2.2 ounces of cocaine on her that we got out of the car. And she just looked like a normal person. So drug dealers and people who use drugs come in all shapes and sizes and all different forms. So make sure that you know what to do when these people present themselves to you, not just thinking, oh, okay, this certain person I have to watch out for. I have to be aware of this person. Because sometimes these people are going to come in all shapes and forms. You talked about farming parties, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Never heard of that before.
I know. It's interesting because kids are going to these parties. They're putting bowls on the tables. And they're filling it up with all the medication that they find. At the Pine Hill Police Department, we have a drop box right in our police department, right in the front. And we get tons and tons of pounds of medication that are just put in that box all the time because people want to get rid of it out of their cabinets. Have you ever gone into your cabinets and you see that medication that's up top? You're like, man, I was prescribed that when I had the measles, right? You know, I'm going to keep it up there. Well, kids are using that, and they're bringing it to these parties, and they're trying to get high with it. Well, it's not only doing a negative thing for them then, later on in life it's causing negative effects, right? Not cool. Not a good idea. How are you? So, we talked about the ways that you can say no, right? We brought up 2 ways. The aggressive way and the passive way, right? We talked about what a drug is, right? Which was good. I'm glad somebody was able to tell me that alcohol wasn't a drug. A lot of people say when I have the hands raised, hey, how many people think that alcohol is a drug? A lot of people say no, because they think it's a drink, right? Drinks don't seem like alcohol or a drug. They are. They definitely are. How many of you want to go to college when you get older? Each of you want to go to college? Where do you want to go to college at?
I want to go to Juilliard.
You want to go to Juilliard? Very cool. How about you?
I want to go to UP or Catholic College.
Very cool. Okay. All right. How about you? You don't know yet? You're finding it out as you go on? That's right. I'm still trying to figure out my life, too. See what happens when I do when I get older. How about you? No idea? I'm in the same boat. Don't worry about it. But that's all things that's a healthy choice, right? Is it a healthy choice to go to college and keep learning and keep building on that learning experience so that way you're constantly getting something positive in your life? Absolutely. You think it's a good idea to go inside and sit and play video games? No, not all the time, right? Maybe every now and then, I guess. I've never been a video game person, but I like playing outside. You guys like playing outside? Just being outside. I enjoy just sitting outside.
I like being outside, but my brothers never want to come out with me, so sad.
Well, being outside, do you think it's a positive choice or a negative choice?
Positive.